recent campaign is elevating the conversation around fatherhood through the new documentary DADication that showcases the experiences of four dads and their commitment to their children. Here to tell us more is Darrell Lyons, who is a dad himself and is featured in this new campaign. Welcome, Darrell.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
We're excited to talk to you about DADication. So tell us about your part in this new documentary.
I was one of the featured fathers in the documentary entitled "DADication." It's a documentary that highlights four fathers and their story. One dealing with addiction and getting over his issues with addiction and getting back in his children's lives. One guy who came out of prison and actually used the exact words, "Coming out of prison, I walked out of prison and walked into heaven because I had my child." It was a beautiful story. Another guy is an immigrant who didn't grow up much with his father as a child, but not only is he a father now, but he's a father in a foreign land, which is a very inspiring story. And then, there's stories about dealing with issues with mental health and wellness issues. And it's just about us humbling ourselves and taking control of our stories and our narratives for the sake of our children.
Yeah, and why do you think it's so important to highlight these different stories about these different fathers, including yourselves, with very different backgrounds?
It's important because it makes it okay to not be perfect. It makes it okay for a man to be vulnerable and say, "Hey, I don't have all the answers. It's okay to not know what you're doing." It is. Technically or societally speaking,
Hmm.
we're expected to be protectors and providers and leaders, and sometimes we don't have all the answers. And what this documentary says is, look, you don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be there. That's half the battle. It really is. So as long as you're there and making an effort to do the job, the finish line is so much. It
Yeah.
means only so much. But the journey to get there is where the memories are made.
Yeah.
Cherish that journey. Make those memories. That's where the real fatherhood lives.
Yeah, I think it's so important what you said, being there and showing up for your kids. That's what means so much. And what was it like? I mean,
Yeah.
so you're in this campaign, this documentary. Are your kids excited for you knowing that you're going to be in this?
So my kids were in it with me.
Oh.
So you should. I can't. As a dad, again, I emphasize the idea of making memories. I can't explain how warm it was. Daughter in the makeup trailer. My daughter was a literal superstar for that day because they shoot the whole thing at our house. And so the production trailer is in like a neighbor's yard. So she's in the makeup trailer. She's getting primped and getting her hair done. My son sees himself on camera in the frame with me. And so as you see now, you see Juan with his children. Yeah, that's the experience to make these memories right here. And it was such a beautiful experience. And we still talk about it to this day. My daughter literally said, "Okay, today I'm doing dedication, tomorrow it's Nickelodeon." That's literally a statement she made. So it's a beautiful experience.
I love it. I'm glad your daughter got to be treated like the little superstar she is, and you were able to have your kids in it. What do you hope people take away from this documentary?
I want people to take away the fact that it's okay for a man to be vulnerable, especially when it's not about you. It's about your kids. Being a dad is more about being there for your children as opposed to this for yourself. But if you don't know how to take care of yourself, you won't know how to take care of your kids. So I'm thankful to fatherhood.gov for providing a lot of mental health resources
Yeah.
in terms of mediation, in terms of therapy and counseling. Fatherhood.gov provides a lot for for that aspect. And if fatherhood.gov creates a safe space to be vulnerable and to say it's okay to not know everything. Just be there. We'll
Yeah.
figure out the rest. You just got to make sure you're here first. And
Yeah.
that's what we want to take. That's what we want you to take away from this documentary is that no one's perfect. We appreciate the effort. No one cares how much you know unless they know how much you care.
Oh, I love ending it right on that. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and telling us more about the documentary. And like you mentioned, there's so many services and programs provided. So for more information, you can visit fatherhood.gov/dedication.